Hello, my friends. It's episode 12, year 12. This is probably going to be the last year we do 1 year at a time. There is some housekeeping stuff I want to talk with you about before we get into the meat of the episode today. First thing, as I mentioned in the previous episode, but if you missed it, I'm recording this slightly in advance, like a week in advance, because I've got, I'm tearing apart my PC probably tonight and tomorrow, to be honest with you, to upgrade the processor and RAM and motherboard, install Windows 10. I'm doing a Hackintosh at the same time. I'm going to try and dual boot. So I'm just kind of trying to get some content out in case that doesn't go well and it takes me a while to fix. Because, you know, I got kids and it's hard to find like dedicated time to do stuff. The other thing is we are up to 25 patrons on Patreon, and I just wanted to say thanks. I think I mentioned these folks in a DC United video if you've not been watching that series. But I just wanted to make sure. So Craig Hadley upped his pledge. Thank you, Craig. Andrew C. joining at the second tier, the box suite tier, if you've looked on the Patreon page. Paul Colombani, Volney Rodriguez de Menenza, I believe is what it is. And Jonathan Needham joined at the box suite tier, and Brent Nitch. So thank you so much for the support. That's crazy. Like my goal is to get to 40 by the end of the year, and we've added like 5 in the last like week, which is crazy. Okay, so thank you for the support. So part of the housekeeping that I want to ask you about is now we've got 10 people that are supporting at the second tier, which is I try and put my patrons into stuff like this, right? Like our 8 kids in this series are 8 people that when I started the series were supporting the channel at the second tier. Well, now we're up to 10. If we get to 11 or more, what's the next experiment we should do? I know people have had some issues with this where they're like, well, you should have used a custom database, or you should have put them in only playable leagues, something like that. And I'm definitely open to that feedback. So should we do, if we had 11 patrons at that level, should we do like a patron team in like a lower league? Should we just spread them out to only playable leagues? I want to make content that you want to watch and you find interesting. At the same time, it needs to be something that I find interesting too. What I'm not going to do is put, you know, all 20 attribute, 200 potential ability players or whatever into the Premier League use setup, because I don't find that very interesting. I would imagine how that goes is they go right to the top. So I want to make it something interesting. That's why I did this, where it was 5 continents and low reputation leagues. Obviously, part of the issue we've had is the leagues, like Greg Baxter, I believe it was at the club in Toronto, the amateur club, and like never escaped. So that becomes a problem. So should we do it again and only do it in like the lowest reputation playable leagues? Like looking at, because this is probably going to be an FM18 thing. So by that point, you'll have an official German league. So we get like the 3rd Bundesliga, I believe, will be in there. I could be wrong. But should we only do the playable leagues and find the lowest reputation leagues within the playable leagues and see if we can get better development? Should I adjust the attributes of the players to where, you know, some people have said, hey, your strikers shouldn't have the same tackling as they have finishing. Okay, fair. Like, that's a fair comment. I can't remember who it was in the comments. Sorry, I don't have it pulled up right now. So should we adjust the attributes a little bit to make them, you know, whatever role we put them in? Should we make them different roles, kind of like we did with the 7 kids experiment in the USA tiers? So I want to get some like brainstorming going, because it's really important to me that this is something that the community likes. And again, it needs to be something that scratches my itch. So I've got my own thoughts. My first thought is the playable leagues thing, and just doing the lowest reputation ones of those and like spreading them around. But maybe you think we should change it, or we should do it where they play different roles and all that kind of stuff. The reason, and I think I said this at some point in the series, that I chose strikers is I feel like you get the most stats inside of Football Manager with that. Like, if you look at their history, it shows you goals, assists, and players of the match. It doesn't show you like key tackles and, you know, stuff like that. Maybe that's something you can change, and I'm just not familiar. We'll take a look at it as we look at our players today. So it's a little bit of a longer start to the episode today. I hope you've stuck around for it, but I just want to kind of get your thoughts there. As the patronage like increases, which I'm so thankful for, I kind of go like, okay, well, how am I going to fit all these people in, and what should we do with them next? So let me know what you want to see. Now let's go take a look and see if, what was it? Toby was going to move to Australia. And then I think it was Gerardo was going to move to Spain or something like that. Or have they all just disappeared? Let's go find out. All right, here we go. I'm nervous. We had 5, right? We're down to 5 kids. And they're not even really 5 continents, but, you know. We've got 5. Oh, no, Toby. Didn't he have a bid in? Oh, no. What has happened? What has happened? Oh, okay, so he got 8 substitute appearances in 2027 calendar year. In 2028, he got 3 starts and 6 subs and 2 goals on a 7-0-1. He got a continental start and 2 subs on a 6-5-7 and 8 international starts and 3 goals on a 7-1-3. And I guess they must have started the season with him and then cut him. I wish you could see the former contract details. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. There's no, unless you can, a graph. Oh, interesting. But again, it's only showing you appearances and goals on the graph. And you can't see like key headers or key tackles. And you can't right click to add that as a column. That would be, I think, an interesting addition to Football Manager. Like, give me some defensive stats. Those are important, right? For defensive players. You got a center back and you don't get any idea as to, like, if they don't have any goals or assists because they're a center back, right? Unless they're coming up and West Broming it on like a set piece. They're not going to have any goals or assists, but maybe they played well. So I think that would be a nice addition to Football Manager. Let me know if you agree with that in the comments. Oh, that's so disappointing. I thought he was for sure going to move. Is it the 57 caps and 17 goals? Toby, is it the end, mate? Is it the end? Jason Duncan is still with Preston. Wasn't he unhappy? Let's see what's happened. 30 substitute appearances. 2 starts, 3 goals, 4 assists on a 6-7-4. 5 cup starts. With 7 substitute appearances, no goals and assists on a 6-7-4. It's not the best either now, is it? Is he I mean, they loaned him out for half a season, got 9 starts with no goals, and then so they decided to keep him. And he's definitely back. I mean, he's like the guy you brought in off the bench, right? Like 30 substitute appearances is a lot, but it's not the best, right? He's under contract for another year. When did he sign this latest contract? Okay, he just signed the contract. So has he kind of given up? And he's like, well, yeah, I guess I'll be a backup. You can pay me 2.3K a week. That's fine. I'm doing all right, I guess. So did he have any injuries? Twisted knee? Nothing major, okay? Oh, man. I mean, it's really hard to judge because unless there's something I don't know about Football Manager, it also doesn't give you the minutes. That'd be a nice thing. I'm probably going to do a video on things I think should be added to Football Manager 2019, which won't because they've already, if they were going to make those changes, they've already made them. So maybe it should be things I want to see different in FM20, which sounds weird to say. But like minutes played would be a really nice thing to add to the, like, it's just a little column. Like, just give me a column. How many minutes? Because this could be 30, like 3-minute appearances, right? Or it could be 30-minute appearances. That's a big difference. I'm just saying, because it's hard to judge. Like, is 3 goals okay? I mean, it's a 6-7-4. I'm spending a lot of time on Jason, but I'm just trying to make the point. He's in another contract season. Will he make another move? Is he kind of reached his max? Oh, that's so. I thought he was unhappy and gonna move. Gerardo did he move? I mean, this guy's gotten around. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And we're going to look at the exchange. I did find the exchange. I wanted to get to him first. The exchange was not actually with Botafogo. That was a loan. It was with Vasco da Gama. Let's take a look here. So, okay, we're in 2029. So in 2028, he only got 1 start. Oh, that's not good. He had 2 starts and 2 subs with a goal and a 6.93 last season. He's got the same number of total appearances, 4, but 1 start, 3 subs, 2 goals, and assists on a 7.67. What? A 7.67? I'd love to know. Again, were the 3 substitute appearances like so short that it's you wouldn't have gotten a rating, and therefore maybe that doesn't come into the calculation. So he had 1 start with 2 goals and an assist and just like bossed it, and that's where his rating's coming from. Because then you would go, well, play him, right? And then They gave him 5-star. Okay, we're halfway. This is what's so confusing with it being calendar year in the Brazilian league, right? So we're halfway through the season. It's July 2nd, right? So they had 5 starts and 2 subs in the, I'm presuming, first half of the season. We'll take a look at when his contract, because he moved for 52 grand. That's a bit of a difference, my friends. 4.1 million exchanged for whatever, loaned him for 200K, and they sold him for 52K. But 5 starts, 2 subs, no goals on a 6.56. Not the best. Kind of fell out of favor maybe with the manager. 4 cup starts, 3 subs, 2 goals. Played significantly better on a 7.19. Then they sell him to Figueirense. Let me know how inaccurate that was. And okay, so he's had, since he moved, which we'll look to see when that was, he's had 2 starts, 3 subs on a 6.54, which is not any better. He got 2 international appearances as substitutes on a 6.5. Okay, so he moved in April. Well, that's curious. 32.5 million. I mean, someone explained this in the comments, or multiple people explained it in the comments, that there's a thing where that's in there so that the big clubs can't, like, I guess, poach from the small clubs. Like, and if they do poach, it has to be a significant amount of money. So they either have to agree to a transfer or they leave on a free to go to the next club. So, okay, so he signed a, essentially, what is that, a 3.5-year deal on a first team basis. He started in April, and he's only had 2 starts and 3 subs, and it's July. So did he have an injury? Let's go find out. No. So why is he on a first team? That's what I don't understand. You offer a first team contract unless there's a break that I don't know about. You know what? Let's go take a look. Let's just take a look here. So April 11th. So his first available game was here. He's had 2 starts, 3 subs. So there's been 1, 2, 3. I'm just looking at league game. Okay, no, that's okay. Whatever this is, I'm guessing this is some sort of cup. Okay, so league games. Let's start counting those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's on a first team contract, and you've had 10 games you could have played him in, and you've played him in 5 total on a first. And they're, my goodness, maybe you should play him more. I mean, that's not the best run, some would argue. Yikes. Yikes. So that's interesting, I think. Quite strong. Worth 600 grand. I just think that's kind of curious. Matt Broadway is still with Hull. He's wanted by Burnley and Southampton, though. Oh, cheeky. Okay. Let's see how he's done. 32 grand a week, 8.5 million. I think that's pretty much the same. He got another 41 appearances, 38 starts, 3 subs, 14 goals, 3 assists on a 7.01. Again, 14 goals is what? Like 1 every 2.5? Not bad. It's not like a 1 every 7, you know. He's doing all right. 8 international appearances, though, with 9 goals on a 7.73. What? It's 2029, so what is he playing in, the Euros, or is it like the UEFA Nations League, or whatever it calls it in Football Manager, or something like that? 2 cup starts, not as good. Not as good. I'm guessing he, like 2 weeks, okay, a pulled groin for 6 days. So it's not, he didn't have like a devastating, he had a couple niggling injuries, I think you could say, right? He was it. This is in July, so 4 weeks. That's a month and a half, 6 weeks, 7, 8, 8.5 weeks out of the season total. He's on contract until 2031. Let's go take a look at Northern Ireland. I mean, his rating was quite good. I mean, I'm just saying, World Cup qualifiers, okay? He got a hat trick, my friends. Okay, it's against Andorra, but he got a hat trick in World Cup qualification and lost to Iceland. Scored, but not looking good, I guess. Where were the other ones? Okay, you got a brace against Malta. You know, you bang them in when you can, right? And then another brace against Andorra. Goal against Kosovo. I mean, they're in the European League Division D Group 2. And they won their group, so that means they've been promoted. Oh, I can't wait for that to actually start happening in real life. If you don't know what I probably need to do a video on that, because I've had people go, I think I mentioned it at one point. People were like, wait, what is the UEFA Nations League? I go, oh, it's coming. It's coming, my friends. It's coming. It's essentially replacing friendlies with Pro Rel, which, who doesn't love Pro Rel? Okay, anyway. All right. It doesn't look like they're going to qualify for the World Cup, so we won't take too much of a look at that. And then Dustin Kraus, 45K a week, 5.25 million. His determination's still garbage. He's at 1.5 stars. Okay, let's take a look. How did he do last season? Ooh. Okay, did he get injured? That's my first concern. 15 starts, 9 subs, 4 goals, 2 assists, 683. Not bad. 24 total appearances, 4 goals is 1 every 6. But if it was 15 starts, again, the number of minutes would be really useful for Football Manager to include. That would be 1 every 4-ish if it was just the starts. I'm just trying to give him some love here. 3 starts and international, though, 6 goals on an 893. What? That is crazy. A little bit of, fewer games, 10 less starts. They had 29 total games, 24 total games. Did he get an injury? Twisted knee out for 7 days. No. That's a bit worrying then. Like, he definitely had... No, that was the previous season. So, just out for a week. So, in a full season, on a first-team contract, they definitely tapered down his use a little bit. Although, you could argue they had 3 continental starts and a sub the previous season, and he had 7 continental starts and 3 subs this season. So maybe they, were making a run in the Champions League or something like that. Let's go take a look. And they decided we want to use our main man in that. Okay, Europa League. It looks like they did make quite the run there. So maybe that explains why Dustin played a little bit less from a league standpoint. How did they do? Didn't work out for him, I guess. They finished 5th. I don't know. I think that's interesting. So on contract until, I know, interesting. It's like the GHG drinking game. You guys are you're done, because I've said interesting like 600 times. I need a new word. 2032, signed the contract last July, right after we did the episode. So you got Matt Broadway wanted, but his contract is... they're going to have to pay for him if they want him. And actually, let's take a look. Southampton, I'm just making sure. They are in the Prem. Burnley's still in the Prem? 5th? Or is it because it's probably because it's the... Yeah, it's... Okay, alphabetical. That's a lot of B names. Okay, they finished 11th last season, so not bad. So, but nobody wants to... Are we going to be down to 4 kids next episode? All right. This is actually a little bit longer because I wanted to get your feedback on the front part of the episode. So let me know your thoughts there. And if you're enjoying this still, hit that like button. Thank you so much for the support on the channel and the series. You guys have been great. We will see you next time. Have a good one.